Hello friends. So in this video what we'll be doing is we'll be writing one function for factorial and then using that function to evaluate the value of sin x based on the series x minus x cubed by 3 factorial, x to the power 5 by 5 factorial minus x to the power 7 by 7 factorial and so on. So as I have already discussed with you that always try to generalize the thing. So it is x to the power 1 by 1 factorial minus x cubed by 3 factorial plus x to the power 5 by 5 factorial and so on. So what I can write here is, if I write it as x to the power and then 2 into 1 minus 1 by 2 into 1 minus 1 factorial minus x to the power 2 into 2 minus 1 by 2 into 2 minus 1 factorial plus x to the power 2 into 3 minus 1 by 2 into 3 minus 1 factorial and so on. Then you can see that this can be thought of as counter. So it is increasing 1, 2, 3 and so on. So the generalized approach for this term only, negative we'll be taking very soon. So first let us discuss this. So this will be x to the power 2i minus 1 by 2i minus 1 factorial. Now this term, now if I look here, so I is starting from 1, then 2 and then ending at n. And if I look here, it is positive and then negative, then positive. So for I is equal to 1, it is positive. For I is equal to 2, it is negative. So I cannot say I to the power 1 minus 1 to the power I, sorry. So what I can do is minus 1 to the power I minus 1. So if I becomes 1, so minus 1 to the power 0 will become positive. If I is equal to 2, if I becomes 2, so it is 2 minus 1, that is minus 1 to the power 1, so it becomes negative and so on. So this is the generalized way of writing the sin x, that is minus 1 to the power I minus 1, x to the power 2i minus 1 by 2i minus 1 factorial, where I is moving from 1 to n. So let us head to the editor and write the program for it. First, we'll be writing the user-defined function. So let's call the name of the function as fact, and it is accepting one argument, that is n. So the return type of this fact is going to be integer, and then let's say f is equal to 1, then for I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus, then we will be doing what? F is equal to f into I. This we have done already, so quickly I am doing this, and then this is returning f. So what type of function is this? This is a function which accepts arguments as well as which is having a return type. So let us quickly test this function. Printf %d fact, let's say 4. So this declaration is required. Okay, so it is 24. Very good. Now let us take another value, let's say 3, so it is returning 6. So let's take 2, it is returning 2. Okay, if it is 0, then it will be returning 1. Very good. So the function is ready to work on. Now comes the series. So here, if you look closely, how many inputs do you require? First, the number of terms till you want to approximate the series, this, and this is going to be an integer. Then what else is required? This x is also required. So this x, what normally we do, we normally supply angle in theta, but this accepts in radian. So this has to be in radian. So we'll be doing what? We'll be defining two variables, x in degrees, which user will be supplying. Let's say it is 30 degree. Then we'll be converting that into radian by saying that x in degree times pi by 180. Okay, so two inputs are there, x in degree and n. And as pi is coming, so pi has to be defined. So either you can say hash define pi 3.14, or you can define it as a constant also. So how to do that? Const, and then type data type of this. So it is float pi, and that is 3.14, and that's it. So this has to be defined pi, and this always has to be done before the program starts. So let us do that. So let us come to the program. So this is accepting first the number of terms. So number of term is n. Then float the x in degrees. Okay, so let us ask the user to supply n. Printf enter n, number of terms in series, and then transfer it to the address of n, scanf %d at the address of n. Then what? Then ask for the value of x from the user. So printf enter angle in degrees, and then scanf, and then percentage. Now this is what? This is float, so it should be %f format specifier, and then transferring it to the address of d. That's it. So input is done. Then what else? Then this x has to be converted into radians. So it is x d into pi divided by 180. So pi has to be defined. So let me define this pi. Math is already taken, very good. So has defined pi as 3.14. Now we have to declare a variable sum where we'll be adding up everything, and then loop. So for int I1, sorry, it is 1 because the series is starting from 1. Look here, 1 to n. Okay, so I1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus, and then there inside what you'll be doing is sum will be equal to sum plus, and then minus 1 to the power. So how to do that? We'll be using power function, power minus 1 raised to the power I minus 1, then times power x raised to 2i minus 1, that is 2i minus 1, divided by the factorial of 2i minus 1. So now we will be calling this function which we have developed, that is fact. So divided by fact 2 into I minus 1. Okay, so let us check once more. Power minus 1 to the power I minus 1, then x to the power 2i minus 1, and then dividing it by factorial of 2i minus 1. And finally printing the result. So printf, then the sign of xd will be equal to, so in place of xd format specifier should come, so %f. So let's take only one after the decimal, and that is equal to %f. Let's take 3 uh, digits after the decimal, and in the first place xd will be coming, in the second place sum will be coming, and it is done. So the program is over. So first we have defined the function, we have developed this function fact, which is a function which will be returning the factorial of a number, and that is integer in nature. Then inside the main function we have declared the number of terms, we have supplied them, then declared the x in degrees, supplied it, and then converting that x in degrees into x in radians, and then sum for continuous summing up, and then the expression that is minus 1 to the power I minus 1, x to the power 2i minus 1 by factorial of 2i minus 1, and then finally printing up the result. So let us run this. So enter the number of terms in the series. Let's take only two terms in the series first. Let's see what happens. Then for 90 degree, you know sine 90 is 1. It is giving 0.925. Why? Because the number of terms in the series is less. So there are only two terms in the series. The more the number of terms will be, the better the approximation will become. So let us take more number of terms. Let's say 5 terms I am taking in the series. And let's say the angle is 90. Now you can see it is coming as 1. Let us take some another angle. Let's say I am interested in knowing what is the value of sine 30. So 5 terms I am taking and 30. So it is coming as 0.5. Very good. So in this way, you can develop your own function, that is user defined functions, and you can use in a program. Now one thing before I end this video, I should tell you that this is basically a called function, the function which is being called, and main is the calling function which is calling this function. Okay, now where the function has been called here. Now what I'm passing to this function, it is 2i minus 1. So you can think, you must be thinking that I is getting transferred here. No, what is happening here exactly is this function is taking the copy of this, and we are calling this function by supplying some numerical value to it, copy of that numerical value. So this type of function calling is called as call by value. Okay, this is a very important thing. Once more I'll tell. So I'm calling this function in the main function. What function? Fact I'm calling. So this is a called function inside the main. This is accepting some argument. Now basically I is not getting passed, but the copy of this I is getting passed here. Okay, and one more thing you should understand, all the functions which I am defining like this are capable of only and only returning a single thing. So here it is only returning f. That means a single thing, single variable it is able to return. But if I want to return multiple variables from a function, multiple things from a function, then it is not possible in this way. In this way, I am capable of returning only one thing. And how to return more variables from with the help of function, we'll see it later. So that is how you write your function, which is accepting one argument and also returning something. And that is how you call that function. Okay, so in this video, till this point only, thank you very much for watching it.